The decision by the Federal Reserve to either raise or cut interest rates has profound effects and significant implications for the economy, specifically on borrowing costs, inflation, and economic growth. Hello everyone, in this video we will explore the potential outcomes of an interest rate change by the Federal Reserve and what it could mean for the broader economy. So let's get started. Lowering interest rates can stimulate economic growth, while increasing them can help to mitigate inflation. In the light of the current situation with rising inflation and tightening labor market, analysts are speculating that the Federal Reserve may choose to raise interest rates in the coming months to prevent the economy from overheating. The decision to raise or cut interest rates is critical for central banks and Federal Reserve. However, these decisions comes with potential consequences such as asset price bubbles and reduced economic growth. Potential outcomes of rising or cutting interest rates include economic growth. Cutting interest rates can stimulate economic growth while raising them can lead to slower growth. Inflation. Cutting interest rates can lead to higher inflation while raising them can help to reduce it. Savings. Cutting interest rates can discourage savings, while raising them can encourage it. Asset prices. Cutting interest rates can lead to asset price bubbles, while raising them can lead to decline in asset prices. Currency exchange rates. Cutting interest rates can lead to weaker currency, while raising them can lead to a stronger currency. Borrowing costs. Cutting interest rate can make borrowing cheaper, while raising them can make it more expensive. Factors that central banks consider when making decisions about interest rate include inflation. Central banks will typically aim to keep inflation within a certain target range and adjust interest rates accordingly. Economic growth. If the economy is struggling, central banks may cut interest rates to stimulate growth. Employment. Central banks may adjust interest rates based on employment rate to maintain stability in the labor market. Global economic condition. Central banks and the Federal Reserve may consider global economic conditions such as trade agreements or international economic trends when making decisions about interest rates. Interest rates play a crucial role in shaping economic conditions, affecting everything from borrowing costs to assets prices and inflation. By understanding these consequences and the factors that drive interest rate decisions, we can all gain a better understanding of the broader economic landscape and making informed decisions as investors and consumers. So now let's review the historical Fed rate hikes since the beginning of 2022. What you see in the chart, the white vertical line represents the date that the Federal Reserve to raise interest rate and how many basis points they increase. The detail in the middle is showing the number of how many times the Federal Reserve raise interest rate along with the how many basis points. So they raise interest rates 9 times, and they expected to raise interest rate 10th time next month, May 2nd of next month. And as you can see on the chart, there is a mixed reaction from the market when the Federal Reserve decided to increase interest rates. So there is no consistency with the reaction. Sometimes the market go up and sometimes the market go down after the Federal Reserve announced raise or rate hikes. This is the chart for the S&P 500 since March of 2022 until now. We know that the Federal Reserve uses monetary policy tools to intervene in the economy based on the current economic conditions. So, if the Fed decided to cut interest rates, it would be for a reason. The decision to cut interest rates is inherently somehow for a bad reason. I don't want to see the Federal Reserve to raise interest rate. I don't want to see the Federal Reserve to cut interest rate either. I want to see the Federal Reserve maintain steady and stable interest rates so that the consumers and investors can make informed decisions. Thank you for watching. See you next time.